Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney and I am back in front of my camera instead of standing out in my driveway in the snow holding up my phone. I am in a different space though. This is the studio. I'm not done decorating yet. This isn't how the final place is gonna look, but it's good enough for now while I'm still putting everything together. I'm super excited though. This is the first video I am recording in here, so let's jump into it. I never really got to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes series that the Hawks played, and yesterday afternoon they played the Dallas Stars in their first game in the series against them. Game number 2 against Dallas is Tuesday night. So a few points about the Carolina series. The Blackhawks probably played some of their best games of the season so far. Carolina is a super fast team and they can score basically whenever they want to, or so it seems from the outside. They've got a lot of young skill. They make their goaltending work for them. You look at a goalie tandem of James Reimer and Peter Mrazek, who is out with an injury now, and you think they're not going to be at the top of the league. Sure, they're both good goaltenders, but that doesn't really stick out as a tandem that you would put near the top. Carolina makes it work. The Hawks did have to face James Reimer in both games because, like I said, Peter Mrazek is injured and they didn't play Alex Nedeljkovic. Game number 1 went to the shootout. The Blackhawks lost. Game number 2, they won in regulation. Not only did they win in regulation, but they won 6-4. That is a pretty good score if you ask me. So that was a really fun series to watch. Going in, I knew that it was either going to be a really exciting series if the Hawks found their feet, or it was just going to be terrible with Carolina absolutely lighting them up. I've said it before multiple times. I'll probably say it again throughout the rest of the season, but this is a very young Blackhawks roster. We didn't know coming into the season what we were going to get. We figured it wasn't going to be that great of a season. They've been pretty fun to watch so far. It seems like we've found our goaltender, and these young guys just keep working. They hustle for pucks, they work the boards, they end up winning some of those battles, which we haven't seen very often. They're fast, they're fun, they're determined. I love watching them. But being so inexperienced, they do make some mistakes, of course. You have to be able to overlook those and forgive them. This is still a development season, even though they've come out these last few games and proved that they want to compete this year. So seeing them going up one of the best teams in the league, one of the faster teams in the league, one of the teams that can put pucks in the back of the net, and these Blackhawks players were able to skate with them and basically matched them goal for goal. I was impressed. Then we move on to Dallas. I didn't get a video up before that game. The Ice Hogs played their home opener the day before. I was doing all sorts of Hog stuff. I was getting this all set up, but now I'm back. Going into that Dallas series, sort of like with the Carolina series, Dallas has come out. They haven't played as many games as the Blackhawks due to some COVID postponements, but they've already scored more goals than the Blackhawks have throughout the season in 4 fewer games. So that's a bit concerning with the defense who has been off and on throughout the year and still pretty much unproven goaltending. Kevin Lankinen has been amazing, but Malcolm Subban got the net yesterday. He looked a lot better in his second game of the season compared to the first, so I was really rooting for him going into this game against Dallas. And he got his first win of the season. You just have to feel good for the guy. He's pretty much been overlooked as the third goaltender, not by the team, of course, but as fans and other people around the league. The 2 names coming into this season that were most known by Hawks fans were Colin Delia and Kevin Lankinen. They've been in the organization longer. And Malcolm Subban came to the team in the trade for Robin Lehner, which did not leave very many people happy. So it seems that people have been more reluctant to root for this guy. But he got his first win. He has looked very good in his last 2 games. He looked great against Dallas. The 1 goal that went in on him, he got the puck in his glove. It popped out, hit the back of a Dallas skater, trickled in the net somehow. It sucks that that's the 1 goal that went in, but he made some awesome saves throughout the rest of the game. And then this one went to overtime. And then Hawks fans all around the world began sweating because this team had not won a game on the road, and they hadn't won a game in overtime. I wasn't feeling very positive about it, if I'm telling the truth. But what happened a few minutes into overtime, Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat were on the ice together. Kane takes the puck down the boards, whips it over to DeBrincat, who was right in front of the goaltender, and he deflects it in the net past Jake Ottinger. And the Blackhawks finally win a game in overtime. They finally win a game on the road, and Malcolm Subban gets his first win of the season. We now have 2 Blackhawks goaltenders that have wins. We still need to get Colin Delia his. And yes, it will come. So of course, that was a fun game to watch. It's always fun to watch a win compared to a loss. Even when the team plays well in a losing effort, it just sucks in the end. But they won. There were a lot of positives to take from this one, but there were also some negatives. So let's jump into my 3 questions for the game against Dallas on Tuesday night. Question 1, will the Blackhawks use their second power play unit? I'm a big fan of Jeremy Colleton. I think he's done good things with the team this year. His reluctance to play the second power play unit, which has been better than the first one, is mind-boggling and quite frustrating, really. So, the Blackhawks had quite a few power plays in this one, and power play unit number 2 didn't see very much ice time, which was kind of confusing since they were great in that second game against Carolina. But more often than not, the first power play unit was out there. Patrick Kane has become very frustrating to watch on the power play again. To start this season, both units were moving their feet, they were moving the puck around the zone, fast passes, fast skating, and now they've gone back to their old habits with Patrick Kane getting it on the half wall and just stick handling them into submission, or like in this game, trying to pass it to Duncan Keith at the point and missing 3 separate times, it goes out of the zone. It was fun. Thankfully, they did end up scoring a goal in this one. Alex DeBrincat got a goal on the power play, and like I said, he got that goal in overtime. He had 2 goals on the day. That is very fun. And this time I actually do mean fun. So, if the Hawks do get more power play chances on Tuesday night, will the second power play unit actually see more ice time? I certainly hope so. Question 2, will Brandon Hagel get his first goal? By the time he actually does this, we're gonna have to go back and see how many videos have featured this question. Every game, it seems, he has an awesome chance to put the puck in the back of the net, and it just doesn't go for one reason or another. Sunday's game was very similar to that. He had a partial breakaway. He beat a defender wide, as he does, cuts to the net, has a shot, and doesn't go in. Because why would it? He has been consistently good in every single game. In this last game, we saw him bumped up to the 3rd line from the 4th. So maybe in Tuesday's game, he will finally get that first goal. I certainly cannot wait to see the celebration when he finally does. Question 3, which version of the Blackhawks defense will we see? If you've been watching the game so far this season, you know that you never really know what you're gonna get from the Blackhawks defense. Some games, they are wonderful. They keep the shots to the outside. They clear pucks from the blue paint. They clear guys from in front of their goaltender so their goalies can see the shots. What a concept. Other games are, how do I say this? Pretty bad. When they don't look good, they give up a lot of breakaways, a lot of odd man rushes. Sometimes the puck goes off of them into their net, or they do their best to try to put the puck in their own net themselves. It is a very unfun experience. But in game number 1 against Dallas and in those 2 games against Carolina, I will say the defense looked pretty dang good. There were a few times in Sunday's game where the defenders might have even saved a goal. Nikita Zadorov whacked away a puck. Connor Murphy swatted a puck out of the crease. That is what your goaltenders need. They do their best to stop every puck, but usually those shots come from a breakdown somewhere in front of them, so the people in front of the goaltender need to help him out a little bit. Thankfully, that's what we've seen in the last couple games. We can only hope for our goaltender's sanity that we see that in Tuesday and going forward. So those are my 3 questions for Tuesday's game against the Dallas Stars. Do you have any questions heading into that game, or do you have any observations from this season so far? I would love to see them. Please leave them in the comments. If you want more from Center Ice, you can head on over to FromCenterIce.com, keep up with the latest podcast episodes, check out all the game previews, and now I have game recaps from the Rockford Ice Hogs games since their season kicked off on Saturday. They also play on Tuesday before the Blackhawks. Their puck drops at 2 p.m. If you're interested in watching a bunch of Blackhawks prospects, you can check that out on AHL TV. Anywho, I have recaps from all of their games over there. I have game previews for the Blackhawks and, of course, the latest podcast episodes, like I said. So check all of those out. You can also visit our social media pages. Those are all linked in the description. Click all the things, follow us on all the stuff. There's a lot of hockey happening lately, and we're doing our best to talk about it. All that being said, let's hope for another good game on Tuesday, and I will see you after that one. Bye, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button to catch more From Center Ice content. If you could, hit the like button on this video, maybe share it with a friend or two. And while you're here, check out the podcast playlist and catch up on some old episodes. We will catch y'all next time. Bye!